Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am working on a painting for World Elephant Day, which is on August 12th, this Saturday, 2017. And I work on a painting of an elephant every year because I donate part of the proceeds to the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. And this year's painting I am in progress with. I am about half the way finished with it, and I wanted to use this particular video as a teaching video so that you can see what I am doing. And if you are painting elephants in particular, you are going to want to try this technique. It is amazing. It gives incredible texture and you just have to see it. So I am going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you what I am working on. If you have any questions, if I miss anything, just leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So let's flip this around so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here is the painting that I am working on for World Elephant Day. I'm going to hold it up here so that you can see it. Again, I'm only about halfway through with this painting. This is size 11 by 14. I'm working on a sheet of Yupo paper and I'm using acrylic and India inks. So I am going to zoom in so you can see the incredible texture that I am getting in this painting. Take a look at this. Isn't that just amazing? I am so in love with this texture and it's just beautiful. I just don't have enough words to say about it. So how did I get this, you are asking, and I am here to tell you. So I'm going to sit my camera down so that it's not wiggling all over the place and pointing it to my trusty inks. I'm going to share with you right now what I am using for this. So what I'm doing, let me point down here for just a second. So for this elephant, I have different layers, okay? I started with my sketch and then I added my first wash of ink mixed with some water, okay? And what I used was Daler&Rowney. And this is, I gotta get my glasses on, hang on just a second. Okay, this is Daler&Rowney in Cool Gray. I used a few drops of that. And what else did I put in here? I used Daler&Rowney's Paynes Grey. It gives off sort of like a midnight bluish gray, like a blue-gray haze. I love, love, love this color. So I used those two together, mixed it, diluted it with water, and then I laid down my first wash. That's where you see this sort of blue-gray right here on my elephant, okay? Once I was finished with that, then this is how I got all of this beautiful texture. Right here. This is a rubber stamp. And I believe this is supposed to look like gauze. It's supposed to mimic gauze. But it's just a very thin rubber stamp. There it is on the back. And what I did was I used that with this ink pad right here. Stampabilities, acid-free pigment ink pad. This particular ink pad is divided into 3 different colors, and I'm sure, it doesn't really label it, but I'm sure the left is probably gold, the middle is silver, and the right is copper. And so I just, at random, I made sure that I covered my stamp with all 3 colors. It doesn't really matter. If you use, I mean, you can just, but it's a little bit more difficult if you just want to get one particular color. But I made sure that I stamped my entire stamp, and then I very carefully laid the stamp over top of the elephant in the parts that I wanted to cover, okay? And that's what I did throughout. Okay, excuse me, I just hit the camera. Once I did that, then I let it dry. You have to let it dry thoroughly. I mean several hours. You can tap it with your finger and look up and see if any of the residue is coming off, but it has to be dry to be able to move on to your next the next thing that you do. Okay, so after it's dry, then I went in and I mixed up Daler&Rowney in Burnt Umber. I used a little bit of Bombay India ink in Sepia. And what else did I use? Bombay India ink in Van Dyke Brown. I mixed those three together, and then I laid on my second wash. When you lay on your second wash, then the ink pad with the stamp, the ink from the pad acts as a resist. Okay, and then all of that darker color just sort of settles in between. And it dries like this, and then you can see the leftover texture from the ink pad. Okay, and it is, I mean, obviously the more ink from the ink pad that you get on the paper, the more of a resist you'll have. Here, I used a very light hand, and so my result is very subtle. You know, down here on the trunk, I used a very heavy hand with the ink pad. I mean, I pressed really, really hard, and I was able to get, I mean, obviously the colors are a lot more opaque here. So this is what I'm currently doing, and it's turning out beautifully. So where can you get these at if this is something that you want to try? I purchased the Stampabilities ink pad here. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and oh, my ink pad. Where did I get that ink pad from? Or the stamp. I believe I got this from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I'm not sure which, but I'm sure if you Google Gauze texture stamp, this will probably come up. And I mean, this is big size. This will work, I mean, on a very large scale if you need it to. But obviously I'm doing 11 by 14 and I was able to make this work just fine. You just have to make sure that you cover the areas that you don't want your stamp to go on, otherwise it will also act as a resist. So anyway, and in case you're wondering, if you want to know how I was able to get the tusk like this, I used Tim Holtz Adirondack inks right here, these two colors. I used Lemonade and I used Hazelnut. So there you have it. This is what I'm currently working on. This piece is going to be auctioned off on my Facebook page this Saturday. Part of the proceeds is going to go to the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. So if you are interested in bidding for a good cause, please go over to my Facebook page and at least check out the final painting when it's finished, because this is going to be just a beautiful one. I'm very proud of this so far. So hopefully we can raise some money for a really good cause. So thanks a lot, everybody. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave me a thumbs up so I know that I am on the right track with these videos. And I am currently working on another video for those of you who have asked about how to find your target market. I am working on that and I will be posting that shortly. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.